There's no doubt that Jermaine Dupri is a legend. A member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame, JD's iconic resume includes discovering Kris Kross and writing their massive singles Jump and Warm It Up. He's the founder of So So Def, a label that has had hits after hits after hits with a roster that has included not only Kris Kross, Bow Wow, TLC, Usher, and JD has also collaborated with Jay-Z, in the Ferrari and Jaguar, switching 4 lanes, top down, screaming out "Money Ain't a Thing." He's collaborated with Lil Kim, Xscape, the Brat, Destiny's Child, Usher, and of course, we know what he did for Mariah Carey. But most of all, we know what he did for music. Welcome Jermaine Dupri to Black Press USA's Fire.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, we got our esteemed president, the civil rights champion himself, Dr. Benjamin Chavis.
Well, thank you, Brother Jermaine. And I'll go back many years. And certainly, on behalf of the Black Press, Jermaine Dupri, we want to welcome you. We are honored to have you spend a little time with the Black Press of America. Your career is still evolving, still expanding, not only across the United States of America, but throughout the world. And the first thing I just want to ask you, from your perspective, as one of the icons of our culture, of hip hop culture that's global, how do you see the activism of young people today in 2020? There's a lot of speculation about whether or not young people will vote, whether or not, but with the Black Lives Matter movement, after what happened to George Floyd, I think young people are very, very active. But I want to get your perspective for our viewers. How do you see youth activism today from your perspective?
I think it's in its best space that it's been since I, have been growing up. I think that I think it's in a dangerous spot though for the older generation to understand it, because this generation is very quick to believe that no one cares about them, and very quick to believe that you're not listening to them if you don't listen to them from the first time that they speak or the first conversation that's had. And I was that same way coming into the music industry, being from Atlanta. I was like, I think that a lot of that helped me become the person that I am today. But at the same time, I won't say that that's a good thing to not have people pay attention. So I think it's really important for the older generation, even myself, to start, to make sure that we embrace a lot of this energy so that we can get in the right place. Because I feel like this energy that's being served into the universe right now is the right energy for us to get into a better place than where we've been. But all parties have to listen.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Stacey, go ahead.
Yeah, so Jermaine, obviously we want to get into the beats, what you're doing now with the eating healthy, that lifestyle there. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the big news that came out of New York yesterday, the arrest of 2 men and the murder of Jam Master Jay. What was your thoughts, number one? And number two, you've seen a lot of that in hip hop, unfortunately, Biggie, Tupac, and Jay. What's the feeling in the world of hip hop today?
I mean, I feel, since I grew up, under Run DMC, and that's what I came up looking at, paying attention to. Jam Master Jay was very instrumental in my life, as a friend, as a person that I looked up to, and just as the DJ for Run DMC. So I'm very happy to see that his family and all of his close friends can get some kind of, I guess, blessing and feel a little bit of closure in this. Not to say that it, I feel like I saw a message that Hurricane posted saying that, they've been knowing the people that they've been knowing these two guys for their whole life. They grew up with these two guys. So I feel like that's a dangerous message to send out. It's also a message that people should pay attention to, because it's like a lot of times people that's, that don't really care for what you're doing, they right up under your nose. You know what I mean? And I hate to say that. I also feel like, a lot of people in the hood, they probably already knew who these guys were. So I hate to see that it took 18 years. I can't believe it took that long. But I am glad to see that it's happening. But I mean, my mother was just asking me this about. My mother was like, Jam Master Jay was selling drugs, and you know, it just puts this thing out there that a lot of people don't understand, because they feel like, you know, once you get in the music business that everything's supposed to change. And that's one of the educations about getting in the music industry. And that's one of the things that people don't understand about us young black individuals, is that, you know, if you listen to all rap music, most of us all come from a hood, some kind of hood. No matter if it's New York, LA, Atlanta, St. Louis, it's a hood. It's a hood to what we feel like is the hood, and we have the same reflections that everybody else has in the hood. It's things that were happening in that hood before you got on and became this rapper that you wanted. It's things that's happening in this hood that happened at the same time that you got on. And then, you know, some of us feel like we don't want to leave our hood. Some of us feel like we owe it to our hood to stay around and take care of people and be a part of it. And you know, it's a sad thing, because we all have to walk this little tightrope line where we put one foot in the hood and one foot out, right? And you know that one foot in the hood can always turn into something that's not, that we don't want it to be. But it's just hard. It's a hard thing to juggle, because it's not like we leave the hood to go become actors and we move to LA, and you know what I'm saying, it's not an actor's life. It's a real life situation where people are coming to our hoods to discover us now. It's not even like basketball players. At least basketball players that come up from wherever they from, once they get drafted, they get they get a chance to move away from that. Rappers don't have that option. I mean, they have the option, but it's not really given to us like that. We make it because of where we come from, and we feel like we have to represent that. And sometimes in representing that, you know, the bad comes with that representation. It's bad in all hoods, not just, you know, these certain little places. So I feel like it's a sad situation, and I wish that we all could, you know, figure out a way to dance around it. But I mean, it is what it is. That's the environment that we brought up in.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that, Jermaine, you know, over the years, if you look now, you know, hip hop is decades old, but it's still evolving. And I think that you made a very important point about the contextualization of art, of music, of culture, of expression. And I think a lot of the brothers and sisters who are rappers, in order for them to be authentic, they do have to represent what they see, what they feel, you know, what they're confronted with, in a sense of trying to overcome. And of course, we have to learn from all of these situations. We have to learn from what happened to Tupac. We have to learn from what happened to Biggie. We have to learn from what happened to Jam Master Jam. We have to learn. But the thing is, I think that there's a sense of resilience, though, in the culture. You know, unfortunately, there are a lot of player haters out here who would love to see something negative, and they focus on the negative, and they don't see the transcendent, overarching quality of the culture that has really changed and impacted the world. And you're right. Not only people are trying to come to the hood to see what they can see, to feel what they can feel, but they're also trying to get some insights. And I think this comes to my next question. You are now leading this transformation about living healthy, you know, not only dressing healthy, driving something healthy, but eating healthy. Talk to us about your transformation to be a vegan.
Well, yeah, I've been vegan for 15 years now, and I'm from the South, so you got to know how much of a oxymoron that sounds to a lot of people that don't understand that how healthy it is for you to become vegan. My mother has high blood pressure, and you know, I don't know if it runs in my family or not. It's not something that I started trying to figure out first, but I gathered this on my own, that I wasn't as healthy as I could possibly be, right? And it was something that I wanted to go. So I took a fast. I went on a fast, and I fast for 25 days. And I learned the understanding of hearing all about this from going to church and hearing about Jesus fast and people fasting in church. I'm Catholic, so hearing about people fasting and how many days you can fast, and the whole 40 days and 40 nights. After I did it 25 days to get into the veganism, I did 40 days and 40 nights of fasting, where I actually realized that it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that tough. It's really a mental thing. And eating is mental and all of that. So really, I got into veganism almost as a like a slip, because I was really just doing the fast and I wanted to just clean my system out. Mm-hmm. And once I cleaned my system out, I realized that the way I felt was incredible, and I hadn't felt like that in my whole life. And I started asking people questions like, well, what can I eat that'll keep me at least feeling close to this? And, you know, people just started directing me to becoming a vegetarian. And then I was like, nah, because I feel like the dairy and all of this stuff is what is heavy on my body. So then it was like, well, you just have to become a vegan. Once they told me that, I just started trying to like find more information about veganism, start eating different people's foods, finding different restaurants that I never knew about in Atlanta. It's crazy to live in Atlanta your whole life. And you start, once you change the way you eat, it directs you in a different direction. You start going to places in the city that I had never gone to before, you know? And I started having conversations with more people, the vegan. I started actually eating a lot of vegan food from a Muslim restaurant here in Atlanta called Veggie Soul. And they're in the West End area. So I started going over there. And I had a conversation with one of the ladies over there. And she told me that she had 5 non-vegan kids and 4 vegan kids. And she said the 5 non-vegans had been in and out of the hospital their whole life. She said the 4 vegan kids, they had never been sick ever. Wow. And this was my intro into me just testing the food. And when I heard when she told me that, I was just like, oh, okay. So this starts, then that's when I started realizing this food has something to do with health. Because that wasn't my interest. I didn't know that from the beginning. And that, like I said, as I go down the path, the way I feel every day, the sickness thing is 100% real. It's like I don't know the last time I've, been sick, thank God. But it's definitely a healthier move. If you want to feel healthy and you want to get on the healthier side and you're concerned about a couple of things, I would definitely say try to add a little veganism to your diet.
And JD, you with this Beats now. Tell us a little bit about the Beats.
So the Beat is we wanted to become the #1 resource for people that want to eat plant-based or plant-based eating, whether whatever it is. If you're not eating that way, but if you have questions about eating plant-based, or you have questions about places you should go, or how do you start, or just anything, most of the things that come to my mind, I'm gonna start putting in the site. I came on as a creative director as well as one of the owners of the platform at this point now, and it's really something that I've needed my whole journey as a vegan, more or less than just a business thing. It's something I really need and I really use, because I was sitting around saying, when I get to places like Dubai and I'm asking these guys, where's the vegan restaurant? They looking at me like, vegan? Don't nobody come over here to eat vegan. We have feasts. We want this Dubai. We want, we getting shrimp out the ocean and lobsters and I'm like, well, yeah, I feel you, but that's not what I can't eat that, right? And so, you having conversations like that, the translation is lost. So you need somebody that's gonna connect the dots, because the restaurants was there. I found them. I had to find them myself, and there's places to eat. And a lot of Indian food is already vegan. So, but a lot of people don't have this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have this information, and all it is just we just need the knowledge out there, and this is a place to get the knowledge.
And tell us, I'm sorry, Dr. Chambers, just want him to tell us the URL for the Beat.
Huh?
The website address?
Yeah, it's thebeat.com.
Thebeat.com. Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Go ahead, Dr. Chambers.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Congratulations on your journey.
Thank you.
Man, you look younger than I saw you 20 years ago, man. So, veganism is working for you, brother.
It'll work for everybody, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. But I wanted to just, because you're in Atlanta, Atlanta is one of the cultural centers of Black America, and there has been a lot of attention on Atlanta in the wake of the murder of George Floyd and the police brutality cases that happened right there in Atlanta, man. God, master. I saw how that brother was shot running away from the police there in Atlanta. Can you talk about what's happening now in Atlanta with Black Lives Movement, but also tied to the importance of voting, man? Your mayor, Keisha Bottoms, has become a national leader now, encouraging people to go out and vote in record numbers. But give us a flavor, man. What's happening right now in Atlanta?
I mean, you know, what's crazy is that I'm actually happy that Atlanta got the look that it got during this time period. I mean, I'm sad for the situation that happened. A young man that got killed by the police. I hate to see that happen because it's not something that I expected to happen in my city. But I feel like the city was speaking to the rest of the world to let people understand what this city has been before Jermaine Dupri, before anything that came out of here. It was Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King couldn't have been from nowhere else but Atlanta, if you ask me, because this city is not intimidated by anything. You know, I think this is probably one of the only cities I know where we don't have no white section of town. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these cities, they got, you drive to a certain place, part of town, it's the white section of town. That's where all the people live. We don't have that in Atlanta. If it's a white section, it's a black person that live right next door to that white person in this city. And neither person is intimidated by each other. The white person's not intimidated. The black person's not intimidated. And it's like my travels through the rest of the world, I didn't respect where I live as much as I do now, because you learn through all of this now how important life is in this city and how much Black lives really matter in Atlanta. Not that it doesn't matter everywhere else, but Black life really matters in Atlanta for so many reasons. I don't know how many people's watched the Maynard Jackson documentary, but if you watch the Maynard Jackson documentary, like, I don't think Maynard Jackson gets the respect and enough talk about that he should, because this guy is the person who made Atlanta what Atlanta is. He's the person that told the city, if they want to build this airport, which is Hartsfield Airport, which is the biggest airport in most popular airport in the country, that they want to build this airport, that 80% of the workers have to be Black. I don't see or hear anybody else talking like this in the rest of these cities. Now, it might be because I'm not in them, but I'm just saying, myself living here, I'm from.
No, you're right. Maynard Jackson was not just a pioneer. He went further than anyone.
So like I said,
you on target. You on target.
I'm from College Park. I'm actually from where the airport is built, and even myself, I walked through the airport a couple times. I'm like, you know, it's like nothing but Black people that work in here. It's almost make you feel like, oh man, I wonder how anybody else feel when they walk through, because it's nothing but Black people. And if you study and you find Maynard Jackson made it like that. He told these people this is how it's gonna be. He told the people from Coca-Cola that if y'all don't make Atlanta y'all city, I'll find somebody else. It's like when I hear people talk about Black Lives Matter, I put all of that into the energy of Atlanta, because Atlanta is built on that. That's what Atlanta's built on. Atlanta's built on some of the strongest Black men that I ever heard of. Martin Luther King, Maynard Jackson, just to name two.
John Lewis.
These guys, John Lewis. I mean, I'm just saying, so it's so much. I feel like Atlanta in itself, the city in itself, was screaming out to be heard. And then you have, even like Miss Bottoms, with Keisha the mayor, she had to stand up and do what she had to do, and she's standing on the shoulders of all these incredible people. She knows what she has, she knows she has to play that role and do what she has to do. So I feel like it was a blessing and a curse at the same time, because once again, like I said, what happened at that Wendy's wasn't supposed to happen. Not at all. But like I said, I feel like it was a spark to let a lot of these young Black kids in the city and even white kids just know exactly where you are. I mean, this is the South. Let's not forget that. This is the South. As I grew up, like I said, in College Park, which is probably the most predominantly black side of town in Atlanta. I've seen the Ku Klux Klan in real life march down Old National Highway with they sheets on. I don't know many people that can have this conversation with me that's my age. I seen this with my own eyes. So, living in a place like that and coming from a city where we had the missing and murdered children, I was a kid when this was happening. So all of this stuff, this energy that's in this city is it's kind of crazy, and it's kind of weird to balance it, but it's an amazing place to be from. And like I said, it's an amazing time right now. So it's really important that I try my best to get as many people to vote and understand, because what people don't understand that's outside of this city is how important voting is. The voting process is what got Maynard Jackson into office. The voting process is what has had a black mayor in this city. I never known Atlanta to have another color mayor. I don't know us to ever have a white mayor in this city. Not as long as I've been living, and it's all because of the way we vote. Everyone in this city votes. We vote that way. We vote for the people that we want in this city, and that's why this city is like it is. So if you want the rest of the country to be like that, you have to use your vote. You have to use your vote. And that's one of the things that I seen the most people saying, that the older people, they've been just saying, like, younger people, y'all don't understand. The strongest tool that you have is voting. It's time for us to really use it.
Yeah,
thank you. Great.
And JD, you as you speak, we understand the hip hop community has such a powerful voice. We've heard Diddy talk about the vote. We've heard others talk about the importance of the vote and what should be done. Tell us how valuable, how important it is for someone like yourself, someone like Diddy or Jay-Z, to take the lead and telling Black America, what they should be doing in a case like Donald Trump and Joe Biden, whoever you might side with.
I mean, it's incredibly important. I mean, I start off by telling you that I feel like I was saying that answered the question, that I feel like this generation is dangerous because they want to see action immediately. And, politics is not immediate. You know what I mean? It's just like right now, everybody's got a concern about Biden, and everybody has something to say about Kamala and her past. And, all I can say is this, is that I never expected anybody to be president and do exactly what I want them to do in the first years that they in office. I never expected this from anyone. I don't care who you are. If you're the best president, anybody that's ever been president, I never expect them to do exactly what everybody is screaming. And if that's how you think, if that's what you think is going to happen, then you're kidding yourself. You always got to get in a space where you can get down the road. And I feel like it's time for us to get in that space. Let's just get in a space where we get in a room with people that want to listen, in a room that people that want to talk. Like I said, everybody might not be with Biden. That's cool. But I had a conversation with him. I know for sure that he took a meeting with me, Jeezy and T.I., and a couple of other people from Atlanta to just hear what we want to say to him. That's a big step to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm Jermaine Dupri, but I mean, at the same time, he could have act like, I don't want to hear what they got to say. He's not even president yet. But he did have the meeting. He took the meeting. He wanted to have a meeting. We had to sit down, and Keisha was there. And I just feel like, anybody in the world, as long as you act like you're never too old to learn, you can end up on the right track at any point in time in your life.
Great. Well, listen, as you talked about Maynard Jackson and talk about some of the other heroes and sheroes that have come out of Atlanta, I just want you to know, Jermaine Dupri, you in that list, because there are a lot of young people who look up to you today. The success of So Def and the imprint that you've made and continue to make, not only in the music, the culture, the entrepreneurship, giving brothers and sisters a chance, a pathway to their own success, to their own individual creativity. Before we close up the interview, I just want to give you a chance. This is August 2020. We got to go through November, get this vote out. But if you could just, hopefully we can get out of this COVID-19. You know, let's say it's going to be with us for a while. But what is your perspective? What is your outlook? What's Jermaine Dupri's outlook, not only here in America, but in the world? You do a lot of international traveling. What do you see? What do you feel for the future?
I like I said, I pray that, you know, people take all of this as a learning. I know for me, one of the things that I'm taking from this is that, you know, tell your friends that you love them and talk to them as if you would never speak to them again. Take something from this, man. Don't just look at this as just a completely bad time in life, because it is, but at the same time, it's a teaching. I saw something where somebody was saying, you know, this time to myself has taught me about myself. I'm learning about myself more and more. And I've seen people say that it's bringing families together. If it's saying that, then that means that it's something that's needed to happen. You know what I mean? And things don't happen like this just accidental. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of us have lost the value in family, friends, just a lot of values that were lost. I feel like we need to like pay attention to this and take heed to what's happening. And I feel like if the world pays attention to all of this, what I'm saying, the world itself will be in a better space, a much better place. And I also feel like there's a lot of white people out there that was older that still been living in the times of the past, and they haven't realized that, you know, 2020 white kids, if you go to TikTok, these white kids is listening to all black music. They not, you know what I mean? That's what like 90% of them, they listen to black music. And it's not a racial thing. It's just, this is how they are raised. This is the world we live in, right? So to be racist in 2020 and think that any of that is gonna fly, you're gonna have conflict from your own race. You're not getting ready. It's not going to be like it used to be. And that's what I'm saying. This is a wake-up call. It's more like everybody wake up and understand what's going on. No, the times have definitely changed. Yes, we like things from the past. I like things from the 90s. That's cool. But we're in a different time. And I feel like that's what somebody, the universe is trying to tell us. Guys, we're in a different space. Even with the whole plant-based thing, you know, I've been doing interviews all morning, and I've been hearing people say, you know, the plant-based lifestyle is booming. And it's because people are realizing, you know, it's people. One of the guys from Yo MTV Raps, I just did an interview with Hip Hop DX, and they was telling me that Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps has a high blood pressure something, and he just had to have his leg amputated. I didn't know nothing about this. And it's like, it's all because of the food and the way we've been eating. It's bad, man. You know what I mean? So I feel like people are starting to realize, and it's a wake-up call in so many different ways. So I pray that if people send this energy into the universe that I keep seeing and hearing, we gonna be in a better space.
Yeah. Exactly. So check out what Jermaine Dupri is doing, the beat.com, BEET.
Yes.
Yeah, check him out. See what's made him, as Dr. Chavis say, look like he's still like 20 years old.
I wish.
Hey, JD, you know your man Dr. Chavis here has been doing his own thing too. I mean, he's lost a lot of weight. He's looking good. He's still.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think Dr.
Like
Chavis is?
Same guy when I first met him. He's
Yep.
the same.
Well, yeah, well, I'm 72 and still strong.
Oh my God! See,
I'm watching my diet.
You don't look a day 72. Never.
Well, thank you.
If I can look as good as you 72, then please, God, give it to me.
All right.
Such a privilege.
Look, we want to stay in touch, Jermaine Dupri. I know we're out of time, but look, man, you can count on the Black press, man. We're going to make sure that we let everybody know that about the beat.com, about So Deaf, and about the continuing evolution of our culture. I'm so proud of the contribution of Black youth, of Black people, of people of African descent, to the oneness of humanity. It's amazing. This global pandemic is making people all over the world discover that we are more alike than we are different.
100%.
And I think that as time rises, we will continue to make a powerful impact. So God bless you and thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. I just want to say this. I'm putting together this song called Change that I'm doing. That I'm doing in the same way of We Are the World, where I'm grabbing all of the artists that I can possibly get together to do this. It's been a very interesting process with this COVID situation because I'm here and they're there doing it, but I'm pulling it together, and you should be looking forward to that soon.
Yeah, we want to help promote it, so keep us informed.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, the great Jermaine Dupri. In fact, a belated congratulations on your induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
And join us tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We'll have NBA legend Isaiah Thomas. Thanks for joining, everybody. Be safe and everybody stay well.
God bless.
Right,
Thank you, Jermaine.
All right.